Good afternoon, Colorado. Welcome to a Wednesday edition of What's for Lunch. I'm your host, Larry Hers. And today, in studio, I am fired up because I was in the truck when he was cooking this stuff, and I know how good it smells, and it's fresh and hot. We have Gabe from Tula's Tapas. Welcome.
How you doing?
What's crazy about this situation, about him being here, so we have a mutual friend, and we got in touch, and I invited him on the show. And then we have another mutual friend, I guess, I don't even know if you know John, but John from the Hispanic Restaurant Association then invited Gabe to be part of tomorrow night from 5 to 8, Hispanic Restaurant Week Kickoff Food Truck Festival, right outside there in the parking lot at 6200 South Syracuse Way in Greenwood Village. We'll have 5 Hispanic-owned food trucks, and just kicking off with that. So before we get to that, let's start with this, because this will make people want to come tomorrow night for sure.
I would hope so.
Are you going to do all this food tomorrow?
Yep, this is all on our regular menu. This
Okay.
is every dish that we have, actually.
Let's get a little history of you and Tula's.
So I've been in Denver since 2000. I've been a chef that whole time. I started with Il Fornaio. That was my corporate upbringing. And then from there went to Parisi Foods and helped open up their fine dining venue. From there, I went to Venice Restaurant, and I was right down the street for 8 years as the chef de cuisine there. And then went off on my own from there and helped open up and was the owner-operator of Carboy Winery and Angelo's Taverna.
Wow.
Down in Littleton.
Like you're like just checking off all my favorite places.
Yeah, so after I did that, I kind of got out of the hustle and bustle for a little bit and went to work for a school district up in Mapleton to see what that side of life was like.
In kitchens or?
In the kitchens, I was
Okay.
still in kitchens, but not a kitchen schedule because it's a school schedule.
Sure.
So, and then I've got 3 daughters and I've got a family, and that's always conducive when you can spend time with them.
How old are your daughters?
Oh gosh, one's 15, one's 4, and one's 2.
Wow, that's a nice variety.
Yeah, we're gonna have the retirement party at the same time as the graduation party. Is how that works. So, but yeah, that's my story. And then got out of that and actually was doing it on the side for a little bit when 2020 hit. Opened up the truck and immediately just hit the ground running because everyone needed food trucks at that time. And I've been doing it for 2.5 years now, and I haven't looked back. So.
Who's Tula?
Tula's my grandma. That's what the truck is named after. That's who the truck is named after. One of the dishes named after her as well. But the reason I named it after her was Grandma's house was always someplace that was comfortable, that we could always walk into the door. There was always something cooking, and you never left hungry. Not one bit. So, this is out of respect and an ode to her.
Okay. And how would you describe your cuisine?
So my cuisine is
Smiles when I say that.
Well, because my cuisine is a mutt. It's all over the place. It's like my own heritage. It's kind of a mix of everything. When I designed the menu, it was partly, my best hits of what I would like to see off a food truck, regardless of culture. And it was also something that I wanted to make sure that there was something for everybody, depending on the demographic that I wanted to hit. So there really is something, if you've got dairy-free, gluten-free, vegan, there's something on the truck for you.
Okay.
And it runs the gamut. I mean, I was in Italian for a long time, so it runs Italian. There's a little bit of African influence and Mexican influence, Cuban influence, American influence. So.
All right, let's start talking about the dishes one at a time. We'll throw them up over here in the close-up.
So we're starting with the Vincenzo. That's a smoked eggplant stack layered with fresh mozzarella, basil, Parmesan, and then a little bit of green salad with pepperoncini vinaigrette there.
So sort of like a smoked eggplant parm?
Smoked eggplant parm. There you go.
So that's good for the vegetarians.
Mm-hmm.
Could probably be made vegan.
So this is our signature dish, if you will, or the namesake. That's the Tula, based off of my grandmother's arroz con pollo, loosely based. She would turn over in her grave if she saw that, but especially because there's black beans on the dish and not pinto beans. But Spanish rice, pinto beans underneath. You've got a boneless skin on, so it's nice and crispy chicken thigh, and then there's tinga sauce, which is a chipotle-based sauce, a little cilantro, some greens with some pickled onions, tomatoes, cucumbers, and some yogurt on there.
It smells so good. And I was in his truck while he was making this stuff, and I could vouch for the fact that it is spotless. That is a really clean truck.
Yeah, I tend to keep my truck pretty clean. Confit wings. We've got a little bit of French, but also American influence here. So I brine the wings first so they're flavored from the inside out, and then I slowly cook them in the mojo pork that gets rendered off of the mojo pork from the Cubano sandwich. So they slow cooked in that seasoned fat, and then they get crisped up in the fryer. And then I have a very good dry rub that I developed for it. That's a sweet chili dry rub, and then I just serve them with straight up ranch.
Yeah, you're getting the idea here. It's got a wide variety.
Yeah, piri piri. So now we're kind of on our way to Africa here. So piri piri is sauce. It's not necessarily supposed to be shrimp, but that's my take on it. It's got a little bit of fry bread with it, lots of garlic, peanuts, shrimp, chilies, a little bit of chicken demi-glace that gets reduced down from when I do the wings, and then finished with a little bit of ghee as well. Fresh tomatoes. Super spicy dish. Super good dish. I sell a lot of that one. This is, if you get anything on my truck, you need to get those with it. These are tater tots. Yogurt sauce, that same tinga sauce. Junk food junkie dish of the bunch right there. It's a beautiful thing, though. And I made a dry rub for that as well, with a little bit of mustard, smoked paprika, garlic powder, and some other stuff in there. And hey, not till the show's over. But those are fantastic. And I sell a heck of a lot of those as well. So.
I can see why.
Yeah. So this is called the Peyton. I used to serve Peyton Manning quite a bit when I was over at Venice. Yeah. So this is kind of an ode to him and my time with him and serving him. And
sort of a chicken parm?
It is a basic chicken parm that has been sauteed and then topped with house marinara, fresh mozzarella, fresh basil.
He did make the chicken parm famous with that commercial.
He did indeed.
You taste so good.
I never cooked one for him, but...
The short rib looks good.
Yeah, this is the Remy. This is named after the mouse on Ratatouille because it's a little French influence, but it's a braising technique. Boneless short rib, braised down with molasses, root vegetables, plum tomatoes, and then topped with a little bit of chimichurri sauce and balsamic reduction. Baked potato salad with it, which has got everything that you would expect out of a loaded baked potato. Bacon.
These guys know it, and some of the audience knows it. But before the show, I was not a food truck guy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to eat standing up, and just there were so many restaurants. But now that I've had so many food trucks on here, I've said it before, I'll say it again, the best food in town is coming off food trucks.
It's starting to really develop in this town especially, and it's a great collaboration of us all as well. This is my Wilbur from Charlotte's Web. That's my porky dish. So we've got some crispy...
They all are nodding. Look at them, all three.
We've got some crispy pork belly. There's a salad on there with that same ranch, but almost a chopped salad feel. White beans, avocados, tomatoes, cucumbers in there, pickled onions, and then some crispy chicharrones on top.
You know, I've done a lot of shows, and normally, like, instantly I know what I'm going to have for lunch. This is really going to be challenging. I might have to try it all.
So this is my Cubano. This is called the Coño. It's kind of a Cubano on steroids. I smoke the pork myself out of pork shoulders and obviously use that fat for the wings. I make the habanero pickles myself. It's got mustard, mayo, Swiss ham, and then a little bit of pepperoni as well, all sandwiched in there and grill pressed.
That's what, if it doesn't look like that, right?
It's not a Cuban. That's right. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Has to be pressed. And then this thing, I don't know what the heck this is.
This is called cocoli. Cocoli is something that I got from my time at Parisi when we went to Florence. This was Tuscan street food. This is basically fried pizza dough, a little bit of yogurt. They use crescenza and really good cheese in Italy, but this is food truck food. And then some prosciutto on top and a little bit of balsamic reduction just to put an acid bite into it. Crispy romaine on there as well.
All right, so we have the easy way to get this food is just come tomorrow night, 6200 South Syracuse Way. Luchador will be there as well. Bits and Pieces will be there.
There's a lot of good trucks coming tomorrow.
Yeah. There's no charges. You know, it's from 5 to 8. Come whenever you want. Obviously, you pay for the food, but, you know, you could try from all the trucks. But if they can't come tomorrow night, where can they find you?
My schedule is posted on my website.
Which is
www.tulastapas.com. I got a busy week this week. We'll be obviously here tomorrow night. We've got a special event in Applewood and Wheat Ridge on Saturday, and then I am right outside the Broncos Stadium at Little Machine Brewery for Sunday. So that's going to be a big one. I got a long week of prep ahead of me.
And then people can also get you for weddings, bar mitzvahs, parties?
Absolutely. I do catering as well. If you go to that same website, I have a full catering on there as well, and I love to do those, especially for smaller, intricate parties, for holidays. That's what I did before the food truck, and that's what vaulted me into the food truck. So love doing catering. So if you've got any small holiday parties or anything that you need a personal chef for, I'm available for that as well.
And then your Instagram handle?
Instagram handle is @Tula's Tapas.
This is what I chose.
Well, go for it, man.
Pleasure to meet you.
Likewise. Thank you for having
See
me.
you again tomorrow night.
Yes, sir. I'll be here.
That's awesome. I get to have his food 2 days in a row. We will have a What's for Lunch tomorrow as well. So I'll be busy for a change. I'm gonna try the Cubano. Let's eat. I love hot food. That's a 10. So many people screw this up. This is what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, the pickles make it, honestly. It should have a pickle. It should have a really good
The
pickle.
right amount of mustard, and you have to press it, and you have the right bread.
It's got to be crispy.